How many brushes do you really need? Writing a line? Well, if you've got a sculpture in your backyard, why not? I carved this. That might be another lesson, how to carve limestone, who knows. But let's focus on what we're doing today, which is choosing your brushes. Choosing the brushes. How do you choose a brush? There's so many to choose from, but this is what I've worked out. Oh, hello, little bird. This is what I've carried with me forever. And this is all I need. And I'll explain what this is. Basically, it's a little pocket. On the back, I've zip tied a large brush so I can use that for technique. You can see that when I painted 2 waterfalls in one day, I used practically only that one brush. It was pretty cool, actually. Oh, that's not quite true because I used some small brushes. But let's get into the brushes. So my number 1 brush that I use is a Dagger brush. Now, I can talk to you about hog's bristle and possum hair and you name it, whatever. They're all very expensive brushes. This is a synthetic brush. This is about maybe $6. And I use these sorts of brushes. I buy them in bulk for just about everything. Now, that's got a lovely tip to it. See how it's angled? That's why it's called a Dagger brush. And that particular methodology will allow you to give fine strokes as well as wide strokes. I'll do this in brush control coming up next. This is another synthetic. Here's a synthetic round. You can see it's rounded on the end. This is a pointed round. You can actually see that it's a beautiful point at the end. Gives you some fine control. And there's all sorts of different ones, but at the end of the day, I've got these kind of brushes going on to give some detail to foliage and things like that. I use a series of fan brushes. Here's 2. They're actually my favourites. I've painted complete paintings just using fan brushes. So that's one methodology. And then I like to generally finish my paintings with these are called rigger. See how they're very thick on one end and thin on the other, very fine point. And if I lick that, that gives me very fine point, but the thickness here will allow the paint to be held, whereas when you use it, it drains away. So rather than a small pointed round, something like that is quite excellent. Rosemary & Co, absolutely fantastic. Love Rosemary & Co brushes. And you're probably wondering why there's a bit of tape on the end. And really, the only reason for that is when I'm on site, I'm juggling all my brushes everywhere and this and that, and they tend to fall out. So if I just put a bit of tape on them and push them in, look at that, that's not going anywhere. That one's probably got to go over here, but you get the idea. Like once you push them in with the tape, that's not going anywhere. Close it up, big brush on the back, and you're ready to go. Stay tuned for the next one, which I'm going to teach you how to use the brushes. But if you guys go out and just buy, 5 or 6 brushes and put them in a little pack like this, hey, that's all you need. Let's go to the next one. Looking forward to it. Bye for now.